Welcome to the podcast from the St. Louis Sportists, an occasionally smart, always irreverent look at sports in St. Louis and beyond. And now, your St. Louis Sportists.
Hello and welcome to the podcast from the St. Louis Sportists. My name is Ron Cook, and I am joined by Joe Sperlin.
I'll say it for Keith. Cheers, everyone. Glad to be here.
I'm sure he appreciates that. Doug Lansdowne.
Good evening. Hope everyone's well.
And Tom Mathis.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Heimblum era of the Sportists podcast.
Yes, it is, in fact, Heim time, and Jim Hayes claims to have some sort of copyright on that. In this edition, the Cardinals wrap 2025 and look forward to the Bloom era. Illinois wins in dramatic fashion, and Mizzou has a bye week before the Crimson Tide come to town. The Chiefs dismantle the Ravens. Was this the start of a resurgence? And a memorable Ryder Cup, not always for the right reasons. The St. Louis Sportists are brought to you by First Coast Steel Buildings. Jason and his team will take your project from design to completion with a family-first approach. Learn more at stcoaststeel.com. And we'll hear more from them later in the show. Tonight's last call is brought to you by Black Dog Consulting, LLC, here to help the one-truck owner and the small fleet owner to grow and prosper. Contact Dave. He has a new number this week. It's 417-217-9622. That's 9622. Black Dog Consulting, helping you retrieve bigger profits. So I was listening to one of my podcasts today, and the guy says, if you're listening to this and you enjoy it, please tell 2 of your friends. And I thought, hey, that's kind of a cool idea. So yeah, if you're a Sportists fan, we would appreciate you sharing this podcast with someone you think might appreciate it. We're on X, Facebook, Blue Sky, the Gram, and our website is stlsportists.com.
If they share it with 2 friends, and they share it with 2 friends, and they share it with 2 friends, it'll be pretty nice.
Wasn't that a shampoo commercial? I thought so.
It was.
Yeah.
Yep, it
that
was.
Old. Joe Sperlin, does your quick hit have anything to do with shampoo?
No.
Okay, well, go ahead anyway.
Well, what happened down in Fayetteville, if you did not see that coming, I think if those shirts are real, and you know they are, that Bobby P rides again with him on a motorcycle, I may have to get one of those. But he immediately got a new defensive staff, which I find hard to believe you can get people you want in the middle of the season. But one guy that is politicking for the Arkansas job, John Gruden. And another name I heard, and when I read it, I immediately flipped past it, and I'm like, I know that name. I'm not even going to read the article, but I went back. Jimbo Fisher.
No way.
That's all I've got to say about that.
I'll tell you the late breaking one I heard, Joe, was Mr. Gundy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He'll do that. But, hey, Bobby's going to do all he can to keep that job. So, anyway. Hey, be interesting down there because it's not an easy schedule.
No, from my, I've been in business since 1990, and I've had many people that I've worked with and for and around in interim positions. And they always say the best way to go from being an interim to being that person is to not act like an interim person. Start doing the job. Yeah. And when you get rid of your defensive staff, that's that's not acting like an interim.
Yeah.
Doug, what do you have?
I was going to talk about the Hogs, too. I'm down here close proximity to them, and just piggyback off a little bit what Joe said. It's not an easy schedule. There's a lot of Chiefs and not enough Indians, but they are the only show in town, and there's stupid money up in northwest corner of the state where Fayetteville's at and stuff. I mean, they ought to be able to figure it out. I would think.
That's what Gruden said. He said, "There's money down there. You just got to get it." And he said he knows how to get it.
Well, they ought to be able to figure it out, I would think, because I don't know. It'll see. I mean, it's gonna be hard to trump Coach Cal, but yeah, I heard Jimbo Fisher today. That's the first time I'd heard about him.
Oh,
Doug, could you imagine Gruden on an in-home visit?
I can't imagine him coaching college football.
Yeah.
But I wonder if he's, he realizes his only chance to get back in the coaching circle is to, jump in the college ranks.
That could be. It totally could be, because I think, Joe, you're probably following that case a little closer than I am. It seems like there's still some things to be resolved there between him and the NFL.
Yeah.
I still say, out of all those text messages, Gruden was the only one you found saying inappropriate things. Okay, yeah, sure.
Right.
Yeah.
Tom, what do you have?
So I'm not always the biggest fan of social media, and I'm glad that we didn't grow up with it. Because can you imagine social media back when in the 70s when the baseball Cardinals were horrible all those years, and we had Bill Bidwell as the owner of the Blues. I mean, the football Cardinals. I mean, it would just be constant uproar, and and even sports radio. We didn't have to deal with that. So I'm glad we didn't have social media growing up.
You have hit the $1 million idea. You have hit a multi-million-dollar idea, Tom. Pick a season and go back and day by day create like 5 social media feeds based on what happened in that game for the football Cardinals, the baseball Cardinals, whoever. I mean, that's gold, man. You just go back and, they've got to get rid of Carlton. This guy's never going to amount to anything.
Right. Yep.
It'd be fantastic.
Jim Hart will never win. Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
So my quick hit is one that Joe and I were talking about before we came on a little bit. And I did not know this. I'm back in one of my great sporting publications. That would be the New York Times, where I found this article this week. And they were talking about the growth of in-game betting. And they say it's the fastest growing area in the sports gaming industry. And so in-game, of course, if that's a term you're not familiar with, it's exactly what the name says. A game starts, and then you can bet on the outcome of the game. You can bet on the score at the end of a half, a quarter. Pass completions, speed of the next pitch is one. I can't make that up. Random events. And so this is what blew me away, though. Bets during games accounted for more than half of the money wagered on FanDuel and DraftKings in their last few quarters.
Wow.
And I did not know that. And they said that in Oregon, a state that keeps detailed sports betting data, the in-game betting for DraftKings grew twice as fast as pre-game betting from 23 to 24 in terms of bets made, total money wagered, and revenue. So, Joe, we've talked about gambling for years and years and years. I guess the fact that you have a phone in your hand and can gamble at any time kind of makes a bit of a difference now.
I will just sum this up, and I mean this 100%. In-game wagering is the devil's work. Now, I do not do that because, it is the work of the devil. That's all I'm going to say.
One of the articles one of the examples they gave in that article was about a gentleman that was very sure and had bet, Tom, you'll love this, like over $100,000 on one game because he was sure it was going to turn out a certain way. And then it's going badly, so he does in-games to try to recover it, and he ends up losing both of those bets.
Yeah.
So
don't try to catch up. You're gonna just double your losses more than likely.
Yeah.
So just stay with your original thought.
Chasing money is never a good thing.
No.
And if you believe you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. But Joe,
Hey,
if you were
2 months,
Yes.
2 months from today.
2 months from today, the
December
switch is
1.
thrown in Missouri. Uh-huh.
The toggle is on.
if you had bet on those Kansas City Chiefs in their last game, you did fairly well, Joe Sperlin.
Yes. And riding the Baltimore bandwagon, I would say the bandwagon is injured. They've blown a tire. They've blew out an axle. Everything that can go wrong is going wrong in Baltimore. I was shocked when Cooper Rush was their backup. I'm going to have a backup that's completely opposite of the guy that I have playing. Does not make any sense to me. I mean, I might want to have someone that's like in some form of like Lamar Jackson. Instead, you put Cooper Rush in there. Holy cow.
This is Tom Mathis. You're not going to believe this. I'm gonna mention something in the NFL that you're going to chip in on. There was one year, I want to say it was the early 2000s. Peyton Manning took every snap for the Colts that season, and his backup was Steve Walsh.
Jeez. Yeah. There's a reason he took every snap.
And there you go.
That's what it reminded me of. Doug, the Chiefs, are they back? Are they what we expected them to be before the season?
They certainly have looked different in every game. I mean, they look good Sunday. I mean, they did some. I can't believe that Worthy makes that big a difference, but it just maybe they can do different things, and they look like a different team. I still think they got to run the ball a little more, but
yeah, Worthy looked uncoverable there at points in the game.
Yeah,
and Jackson Dart time has come in New York, and early results seem good. Joe,
changed things up, fired up. Once again, the Chargers with a lot of injuries didn't help. So, but yeah. Hey, home crowd fired up, changed. The new guy that they're a lot happier with than the old guy, and literally old guy in this case. He looked pretty good.
I'm not sure that Cam Scatabo, if he continues at the rate he started, is ever going to have to buy a beverage in New York or New Jersey. Talk about a guy that went to the right team, Doug. My gosh.
He's a perfect fit. And Dart, like I said, of course, we'll see in a week or two when he has to keep playing without Malik Neighbors what that'll look like.
In the NFL, when they get a couple weeks of video, of okay, here's what he does. Okay, we got it.
Well, Doug, you mentioned Malik Neighbors. I know you have injuries every year in the NFL, but when you look around, you've got Neighbors and Lamar and Burrow and CeeDee Lamb and boy, Tyreek. Ooh, Tyreek joined the Joe Theisman Hall of Fame there. Oh, my goodness.
I think that was all of us old timers. That was our immediate thought once we saw the leg dangling was the pencil sharpener.
He just didn't have Lawrence standing there screaming for the guys to get out onto the field.
Right.
But yeah, there's, I think we're definitely seeing some depth getting tested around the league, which kind of leads me, Joe, is there a best team in the league right now, or is it a jumbled up mess?
Buffalo right now, and then probably everybody else. And then they got to stay away from injuries and see what happens. But yeah, I think it was Cincinnati looked horrible against Denver. They were like, okay, they're going to be all right. And then they just looked god awful.
No.
And then, you just don't know. And then you got, like you said, you got the Chargers getting beat. The Packers got beat. And then Dallas comes back and they have the big tie game of, then all of a sudden Dallas is like, well, maybe Dallas looks better. And it's all in the NFL script. They love this.
The Eagles win, and their quarterback completes 0 passes in the second half.
Yeah.
Makes no sense.
Yeah.
And they got a receiver not happy that he can't get the ball. Hey, NFL Live on ESPN, Orlovsky said, well, you've got to be able to run a pattern where you make a move instead of just running down the field and wondering why they can't throw you the ball.
My favorite stat before we leave the NFL for a minute is home teams that had scored 40 points before Sunday night were 300-0, and now they're 300-0-1.
Oh, yeah. I believe it.
We didn't see that coming. Tom Mathis, the University of Missouri-Columbia. Is it true they've kicked their first home game to like 2027 now?
Yeah, they may need to. But they're going to play half the rest of their games on the road, so that won't be fun.
Yeah, that's true. Convincing win and a week off for the Tigers.
Yes. Yeah, they didn't look outstanding on Saturday. They won, but it wasn't dominating, I think, like everybody expected. And the bad thing is, like I said last week, I hope the second and third stringers get in some playing time, and that didn't happen. The outcome wasn't sealed as early as they had hoped, so they had to keep the starters in.
Yep. And Doug, the Illinois Fighting Illini win one in what I would call breathless fashion at the end. My goodness.
That was a good game. Indiana pulls one out and delivers a bad beats. So that was good. That was a bad beats. Yep. And according to Diego Pavia, Vanderbilt is going to end Alabama's season this Saturday.
Bulletin board material. Yep. Bulletin board material. Well, I go back to Legend.
Diego cares if it's on the bulletin board or not.
Joe, wasn't it Legend last year that was screaming, "Vandy is my daddy," after Vandy beat Alabama? And that was on the Paul Feinbaum show. Speaking of, could we be looking at Senator Paul Feinbaum, Joe? What do you think?
Okay. I mean, you'd probably get a lot of people down there to vote for him. If they voted for Tuberville, they'd vote for him.
True.
I think he'd be able to pull off the Ross Perot "I'm all ears" line if he did run.
I don't understand what it is with all these sports personalities thinking they can be politicians. I mean, Stephen A. Smith, Feinbaum, Barkley, Bruce Pearl. I mean, just because you're popular doesn't mean you're going to be a good politician.
No, it does not. And, some people forget. I mean, Bud Wilkinson ran for Senate and lost. And this was after he'd won, 58 games or something like that in Oklahoma. And he lost.
Yeah. It got so bad for him, he had to come coach the football Cardinals.
Yeah.
And we all know how that turned out. So, Doug, you had LSU, Penn State, and Georgia all faceplant last week at different levels. Starting to see some teams with some questions in that group and a few key others.
I still like my man Dan Lanning and the Ducks.
They're looking strong.
He was a little intense after the game, wasn't he?
He was.
Yeah.
Holy cow.
He does not take the foot off the throat.
No. I have actually heard comparisons to Mr. Lanning and a certain street drug that was popular in the 80s. I'll leave it at that.
Yeah.
Just going to say Miami Vice, and that's okay. I'll leave it there. With that, it's time to kick it over to Blue Horseshoe's Corner. We would like to remind you that these bets and predictions are for entertainment only. And seriously, folks, if you do have a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER, and for the love of God, don't chase bets. Don't chase money.
The devil.
Yes. Mr. Sperlin.
All right, we're going to start off. Illinois, -9.5 at Purdue. Doug, you're ready? You got a wager on this one or thoughts on this one? Sorry, no wagering.
No wagering. Barry Odom.
That's right.
Barry Odom will keep it closer than that. I think I'll take the Boilermakers and the points.
Ron?
Yes, I too will take the Boilermakers and the points for two. You've got a letdown here after the gigantic emotional win over USC. And then those games, I remember I had this certain friend a few years ago whose initials were JS, and he would always talk about how on parlays there was like this Big Ten quagmire of like when Indiana would play Illinois or Purdue would play Indy. It was just like kind of a, toss a coin. And so, yeah, I think Purdue does some of that and mucks it up.
Tom, what do you think?
I'm going to take Illinois. I think they'll win and cover handily. I mean, Purdue lost by 20-something to Notre Dame, and I don't think Illinois is going to be any better for them.
Hey, last year, Illinois had to stop a 2-point play to lose or to win a 1-win Purdue team. And Illinois has played Indiana, USC, and next week they got some team from Ohio. So I'm going to take Purdue points. All right, Diego at Alabama. The Vanderbilt minus 10.5. Ron? 10.5.
This game is why I don't bet money on football. Because I tell you, Vanderbilt has looked good, but I think that, for DeBauer, every game is literally for his job. It almost feels like. I'm sure that he's, slugging Maalox. I'll take Vandy and, no, I won't. I'll take Alabama. I will take Alabama. Obviously, you can tell I'm very sure. I'm very sure you about this game.
Yeah, you took the elephant head off and put it back on.
Put the Commodore hat on. Tom, what about you?
How can Vandy not be a favorite in this game? I mean, they've won by an average of about 30 points against their opponents all year. I don't understand how they're not favored. But I'm going Alabama. They'll win, and they're gonna repay last year's debt.
The revenge game, Doug. That's a famous college one, revenge.
I think Alabama is fired up for this one, which is hard to believe. You have to get fired up for Vandy, but I think Alabama wins and covers.
Not so fast. Hey, Vandy's scoring 49 a game, and I'm going to say this with a serious face. Alabama could be looking ahead to next week's opponent.
It's factually correct.
There you go. Texas at Florida. Texas minus 6.5. Not 7, 6.5. Tom?
Glad April's not here this week. I'm going Florida for the win. I think Texas has not done anything to impress me yet. They probably, DJ Lagway probably won't throw 5 or 6 interceptions. So I'm going Florida.
Doug, what do you think?
I think this is the who cares game. But I think Texas wins and covers.
Okay. Ron?
Florida, because I still have not seen young Mr. Manning do very well against an SEC opponent, and I don't think it's going to start here.
I think I saw a deal today that it's the first time Texas has played at Florida at the Swamp in 85 years.
Oh, wow.
So it's going to be a field goals. Who doesn't make a mistake? Give me the 6.5 and the Gators. Another one, first time, Boise at Notre Dame. Notre Dame minus 19.5, Ron.
Notre Dame has been shot from a cannon, and Notre Dame will cover easily.
Okay, Doug?
I agree with Mr. Cook. Notre Dame wins and covers.
Tom?
I'm taking the points. Give me Boise.
Oh, I'm with Tom. I'm going to say Boise is going to keep it close enough. I'm not going to say Boise, but they'll 17-16. I say Boise keeps it. Oh, and then Saturday night, back in the good old days, Miami at Florida State. And I'm just going to say it. Go Noles. Miami minus 4.5, Ron.
Mm.
Hey, and I'm going to say this. I'm not for sure if Miami might be the best team right now. If you had to say who's the best team, I'm not sure if right now it's Miami. They got some dudes on defense.
They truly do have
holy
some.
crap.
They truly do have some dudes. I am going to take. Miami was able to go in there and do it 30 years ago, so I think they'll be able to do it again. So I'm going to take Miami. Man, that point spread is troublesome. Yeah, I'm sticking with him.
Tom, what do you think?
I think Miami's going to come in to Doak Walker Stadium and lose. Give me the Noles.
Oh, hey. Doug, our final pick here.
I want the Noles and the points.
There you go. Now, let's go to the coin flips. Let's go to the NFL. Holy cow. Hey, by the way, I'll say it. I was over last week. I tell you. Hey, Minnesota stayed across the pond, had an hour trip. They're going to be playing in London, playing at Cleveland. Minnesota minus 3.5, Ron.
Give me the Browns. It was said with all of the confidence of no one, really. I think that I think this quarterback change is going to do him good, no matter what Shador says.
Or doesn't say.
Or doesn't say.
Yeah.
I will take the Browns and the points, but I want it noted that the only touchdown scored by the Browns will be by their defense.
I believe that.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with the new rookie quarterback. By the way, for you OU fans, now 20% of the NFL is OU quarterbacks with Dylan Gabriel starting.
No, did you see the stat? It was like, I forget what year, Joe, you might have seen this. It was like every OU quarterback since 2017 or something is starting in the NFL.
Yes.
Okay. Didn't see that coming.
There you go. Quarterback you, Lincoln Riley, not Brent Venables, Lincoln Riley. Hey, as I say, the uniform game, Tampa Bay at Seattle. Seattle minus 3.5. Ron?
Seattle wins and covers and is awesome. Seattle big.
Doug, what do you think?
I want Baker and the points.
You can't hardly go against Baker. There's an OU guy. Hey, here's the deal now. You can say quarterbacks. I mean, you could say, that guy was there for a semester, never played for OU, but he was at OU. I mean, not Baker, but, when guys are going 7 years of college and playing at 4 different teams. So anyways, I'm off my tangent on that one.
Oh, so is Troy Aikman's an Oklahoma quarterback?
Yes.
Okay.
They would probably say yes. So I don't know how this game made it in there. I think at the time we had a little more positivity about Cincinnati, but it's Detroit at Cincinnati. Detroit minus 10.5. Hey, Doug, the Mud Hut's on a bye. He's down in the Mud Hut probably getting therapy. I'll start off with that one. Hey, Cincinnati, This game could probably be 20.5, and I'd still take Detroit.
Same.
There we go.
Yep, me too. Give me Detroit.
Yep.
Hey, it's good to put a game like this in so none of us get skunked, hopefully. I just guaranteed we're all going to lose now.
Well, I'm about to say, you just think that. You're talking to a guy who didn't get a game right. But that's why I say, folks, don't wager on the NFL. Unless you have the script. Washington at the L.A. Chargers, Ron. I almost want to say the Clippers, so you'll call them L.A. The Chargers, minus 2.5. Who's hurt more in this game? Who do you believe is hurt more or less.
What was it again? What's the line, Joe?
2.5. The Chargers at home minus 2.5
In a
against
game
the
like
Redskins. Back to the Redskins, the Washington D.C. team.
and it sounds like they're going to be the Mariotas again. So for that reason, give me the Chargers.
Oh God! I thought Daniels was going to play.
Right now, they're saying no.
Oh, Mariota's terrible. God, he's terrible. But I'm going to take the Commanders. Still alive? I'm going to take the Commanders and the points just because Harbaugh has his entire team hurt.
Hey, I think they said the Chargers finished the game the other night against the Giants with the 5 only offensive linemen they had left.
Yep.
They had no more offensive linemen. I'm going to go with the Chargers. He'll find a way.
You know that at some point they went to the defensive lineman and said, hey, did you guys ever play any offensive line in college just in case?
Yeah, the long snapper, they said, you're going to go to center and we're going to move this guy. It's like playing JV football on a Monday night. The Chargers at Jacksonville's 3-1? Is that correct? I don't know how they put them on Monday Night Football. They found a way. The Chiefs at Jacksonville. Chiefs, surprisingly, only minus 3.5.
I'll take Jacksonville on the points.
Oh.
Funny things happen on Monday Night Football when everyone's watching and you don't want to be embarrassed. That's all I'm going to say.
When I have an existential question, I always think to myself, what would Len Dawson do? And he would say, I'll take the Chiefs.
I, too, will take the Chiefs.
Len Dawson would also pick Purdue earlier.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
That's right. As did Ron. Remember, folks, in-game wagering is the devil, and so is the NFL. And matter of fact, so is all online wagering.
Actually correct. Thank you, Blue Horseshoe. We have reached a commercial break. When we come back, Doug is going to talk about what I think we will come to find a memorable Ryder Cup last week. We're going to talk about the Cardinals, and oh yeah, we're going to look at our preseason predictions. How did we do? When we come back.
At First Coast Steel Buildings, we stand out by combining cutting-edge engineering with a family-first approach to customer service. Every building is custom designed, ensuring a perfect fit for your location and purpose, while our galvanized steel guarantees durability and resilience. Contact Jason and his team at 912-314-4848 or visit their website at firstcoaststeel.com. From fun to practical to industrial, First Coast will provide a custom solution to any building need. From fun projects like a backyard bar or she shed to an industrial storage unit for your business, First Coast has you covered. Visit their website at stcoaststeel.com or give them a call at 912-314-4848. Discounts for military and first responders.
And we are back on the St. Louis Sportists podcast, along with Joe Sperlin, Doug Lansdowne, and Tom Mathis. My name is Ron Cook. And Doug, last week, the Ryder Cup, and my goodness, there's just a lot to discuss from those 3 days in New York.
Did you say a lot of cuss? A lot to cuss?
Yeah.
Because that's all those idiots did. You know, I think Justin Thomas said he apologized 13 times in his round Saturday afternoon. So,
oh my God.
Like Roy said, he said it got quiet when the Americans were hitting because nobody ever cheered for them. They were too busy yelling at us. But when they didn't gain any points, you know, when they lost ground again Saturday morning, I mean, it was over. So, you can second guess Keegan all you want, you know, all that stuff. And I didn't realize he's the one I didn't realize he had the complete say on the course setup. I knew they kept talking about how, they'd cut the grass down and stuff and everything, but I should have known that. But I remember the captain has complete say on that. But, the European team's just better. They're just better. And then a couple of his pairings, I don't know, analytics wise, and I don't know, looking at a couple of them and stuff, but it was, and every time Fitzpatrick, Rose, or Fleetwood hit a shot, they looked like the damn thing was going to go in.
Yeah, it was video game stuff again. And Doug, there was one pairing that he threw out a couple times that they said statistically was like, of all of the combinations, like next to the bottom.
Yeah, it was Colin Morikawa and Harris English, which I said last week Colin Morikawa shouldn't be on the team because he's a terrible putter. I think I mentioned last week you got to make putts, and they just they don't have the best. They didn't have the best group of putters, so it would have been tough for Keegan to play, but he's still, right now he's one of the top 12 Americans playing golf. So it was a beat down. They made it enjoyable Sunday trying to make the comeback and stuff. So, but once again, they didn't make enough putts.
Was there any point, Joe Sperlin, on Sunday where you thought, oh my gosh, we may come back? Or are you like, this is just whatever?
Well, I thought it was going to come down to those guys there at the end. And like, boy, is this going to be exciting? And I think I texted you guys, if Bryson would have made that putt for the win, his head would have exploded. I mean, he would have collapsed right there dead on the green. But Doug, you're right. I think you're right. They were talking about the positivity of cheering for your golfers, that the Americans weren't getting it because it was like they were reloading, waiting to see what they could mouth the European team instead of really focusing and cheering for the Americans.
I know everybody's going to remember Lowry birdie in 18, but, Henley led almost that entire match. And on the 16th hole, Lowry stuffed it in there. And then he hit a terrible shot on 17 and had a really, really, really hard putt and, two-putted. So when he two-putted on 17, that's when I thought, they're not going to make a comeback. And that's even before he birdied 18.
Yeah. Yeah,
well,
and
got behind, and it was just too much to come back.
Yeah.
The national media seems to have latched on to the quote-unquote fan behavior. Doug, is there anything they can really do about this?
The national media is the one to blame to begin with, because all the way going up to it, they kept talking about the New York crowd. They're going to hear it from the New York crowd. I mean, it's like they built them up to act like a bunch of jackasses. So, and that New York crowd, they don't need any build-up to act like that.
Nope. Is there anything the U.S. can do better for next time?
Oh, I'm sure they'll go over and get thumped overseas. So, the elephant in the room deal is, if Tiger says, all right, I'll be captain, they probably go and win with him captain, just because I think that's the only thing that could get him a win overseas.
I mean, really, the U.S. really doesn't have the personalities. They don't have a Tiger or, they just don't have that type of personality to take charge of the team.
Nope. But speaking of taking charge of a team, there's a new guy in charge of the Cardinals, Tom.
Yes, Heim. The Heim era is here, and everybody who is expecting a big change and to let Ali go today or yesterday, it's not happening. Nothing's changing right now. It's going to be the same thing that we had this year, I would imagine. So it's going to be a long process, and we've talked about it too. 2027 is pretty doubtful in my mind. So they're not going to go out and make a bunch of changes, sign some big free agents and have to pay them, or not know what they're going to have in 2027.
And for those of you that are wondering why Tom and I are so down on 2027, that is a real chance for either a lockout or a strike. The owners have said that they are willing to burn a season to get a salary cap, and the players have said there is no circumstance under which they will take a salary cap. Now, current manager and favorite of mine, or current commissioner and favorite of mine, Rob Manfred, has said, very proud of the fact he has never missed a game due to labor strife. So we shall see. We shall see. So yeah, Ollie is back. And then so we're going to do something a little bit different here. We're going to do some Cardinal Survivor. Specifically, Doug, Tom, we're going to look at just a few players and say, will they be here either on the 40-man roster or on the injured list on opening day in 2026? Tom, this is your idea, so you can drive this segment.
All right. So we got some guys who kind of runway guys for this past season, but we're going to, just see what everybody thinks, if they'll be traded or, if they'll make it through the off season still here. Our first Cardinal that we'll talk about, if he's going to be here or not, will be Lars Nootbaar. Joe, do you think Lars will be here with us next year or gone?
I think they're going to clean house, aren't they? Everything that's cleanable. Hey, they're having a clearance sale to anything that anyone will buy.
That might be true.
There's no one off the table, is there?
I'd say maybe Herrera is off the table.
And I would say when.
Yeah. Maybe.
Yeah.
But probably he's here.
Yeah. Doug, what do you think?
They can't get rid of everybody. And I think Lars stays.
Oh. Ron?
I say he's gone, and everyone's going to be shocked at the return. And when I say shocked, I don't mean like, wow, look at him. I mean, it's like a double-A guy. It'll be like when they traded Lonnie Smith for John Morris.
Well, I would take a bag of balls for Newt right now. So he's proved that he can't stay healthy. I mean, he just had one DL stint this year, but you just can't count on him, and they don't know where to hit him. 1, 2, 5, 6. So let's move on from Lars. How about Nolan Gorman? Doug, what do you say about Gorman?
I think he stays too.
Okay. Ron?
Yes, the only thing would be Heim had a very ominous message today where he said that if, we're going to hopefully move Arenado, but if we don't, we'll be happy to have him back next year. And if he's back next year, that means that you will have Arenado and you will have Donovan and you will have Weatherholt, and I don't see a place for Mr. Gorman.
Yep. Joe?
I'm going to say it again. Make me an offer. I'll listen to anything. Make me an offer.
Yep. I think Ron's right that Gorman's status is totally upon what happens with Arenado. If Arenado stays, Gorman's probably gone. If they're able to find a trade for Arenado, they'll keep Gorman. So hopefully Nolan A is gone and Nolan G gets to stay. So Alec Burleson, Ron?
Back. Easy.
Yep. Joe?
See ya. Clean your locker out last week.
Doug?
I actually think he's gone too, because I think he's one that you actually can get something for him. And he doesn't fit the prototype player that Hein has targeted before.
Yeah. I don't disagree. I think you will get a pretty decent return from him, but he's also somebody you can put in the lineup every day, either in one of the corner outfield spots or at first base. So I think they'll keep him around at least for one more year. The big one, Jordan Walker. Doug?
I think he's gone.
Ron?
He's gone, but he's gone to Memphis. They're going to say, hey, Why don't you show us you can do it at AAA for a year?
I was going to say
Joe?
the same thing. Play him every day. Get him playing. Let him play.
Yep. I totally agree. He'll be a Memphis Redbird next year, probably for the whole season. So, and
And
then
hit
we'll see after
208.
that.
And he'll hit 208.
Speaking of that, did you guys see what Ciani was hitting this year in AAA? 212.
Ah.
Hopefully we don't see him again. Brendan Donovan. Ron.
I have heard that, much to our chagrin, they are going to have to package him with Arenado, which makes perfect sense. It's like, if I'm going to take this guy, then you got to give me that guy. I think he's gone, unfortunately.
Joe?
I'm agreeing with Ron. If you're going to do me a favor, I mean, if I'm going to do you a favor, you're going to do me a favor.
Doug?
Yep, I think he's gone too, because like I said, he's one of the guys you can actually get something for. So I don't like any of this stuff I'm picking. That's how I feel it's going to happen. So Donovan's my favorite player.
You don't have to like it.
Yeah.
I agree with all of you. I think he's gone. They have a built-in replacement already for him in Weatherholt. Take Weatherholt to be the second baseman starting next year, and so they'll feel that they can move on from Donovan and get a good return. So next is Sonny Gray. Joe, trade it or it's still here? Doug?
I think he's gone. The way he talked those last few weeks and stuff, he's just got a couple years left. He wants to win. I think he's gone.
Yep. Ron?
And his line was, I expect to win. That ain't going to happen next year or probably the year after, which are his final year plus his option year. I forget about his option year, which is $20 million as opposed to the egregious 35. So, yeah, he's gone.
The buyout's $5 million.
See you later.
The buyout's $5 million, so it's a $40 million investment at least. So,
Wow.
I think he might be the first one gone. Really. So, last one on our list is Wilson Contreras. He says he wants to stay. Do we let him stay or do we find a new home for him, Joe?
He may go to California and play for Albert. So you can get an offer, take it.
Yep. Doug?
I think he stays. I think his passionate plea there at the end will keep him around.
Ron?
He's an analytics guy, and Heim loves analytics. So I think he stays.
Yeah. Yeah. My thing with Contreras is, he has some loyalty to the Cardinals, and fans, they cry for loyalty these days, and I think he stays around. So I think he'll be with us next year.
He's a Cardinals guy. Is that how you could classify him? He's a Cardinals type guy.
Yeah. I would agree with that.
Yep. So, Tom, thank you for taking us through that. Joe Sperlin, we made some predictions before the Cardinals season. Some of them turned out well. Some of them are humorous now. How did we do?
Ron, as we say, we have receipts right here. As the kids say, prediction, season win, 76.5. With the actual of 88, everyone was over on that. So that was correct. We had one guy who said the manager would not finish the year, and he did. And that would be Keith. Everybody else said he was going to make it. Arenado, games played. Now, we did not say quality games played. We just said games played. Games played, 100. Actual 107. Ron, you were the only one that said over 100. Thoughts on that prediction now?
I thought that if they weren't able to trade him over the offseason, why would they be able to trade him during the season?
If he hadn't come back in September, we all would have been right and you would have been wrong.
That's 100% correct.
Yeah. The next one, Helsley, a full season. I don't even remember who this guy is. I don't even.
Met
I hope
fans.
you guys know what you said. No. Ron, were you the only one that said yes? There was a no. Ron?
That
Anyone
was me.
thoughts on play?
He sunk the Mets. Good for him.
He did.
Yeah. It was actually a pleasant release of, hey, way to screw up the Mets. Nice job. Michaelis, innings pitched, 150 over, ERA 5, under 4.84. So, Doug, you were right on both of those.
Nice.
Painfully right.
Hey, I was about to say, thoughts on that prediction?
Painfully right.
Tom, you were incorrect on both picks.
Yeah. Yeah. I
Ron,
didn't miss
you
that
split.
ERA by
You
much.
had the over on the innings pitched. Oh, hey, then Newt. We all want to sit here and talk about Newt. The first NIL or IL stint, May 26th. Everybody was, before. It actually happened July 13th. We were all wrong on that.
I just want to hear you pronounce the injury again.
Was that where his side hurt? Wasn't that the one?
Yes.
I have a pain about right here. I don't think I can go today. 10 days on the IL would work great right here. And then the guy, as I like to say, throwing up in the Boston bullpen today, Stephen Matz. His IL, June 12th, none. He was not on the IL. But he did.
He's an Iron Man.
Yeah.
Contract year.
Yeah.
Exactly. That was what I said when I made the prediction.
You were Ron. You were the only one that said after. You did not predict none, but you did say after. First Memphis call up April 6th. Gorman was called up on the DL on April 4th. So Tom had the after. Everyone else was before. Home runs.
Oof.
Over 12.5, Walker. How many home runs did Walker have?
It seems like 2.
6. Doug with the under. Ron with the under. Baker. I am really struggling on who is Baker.
Look,
he'll be out of baseball next year.
Seriously, I was like, Baker? If you had 0, you were correct. Tom, you and Doug had the under. Ron, would you like to reply why you thought over was going to hit on that?
Stupidity.
Okay. And you can't fight that. I mean, you really can't. Starting center fielders. The number was 5.5, and there was 7.
7.
Ron, you had the over.
Barrero was a great. When Ciani started games in center field, it was, and then we all had Garrett Hampson on our bingo card getting a few starts out there too. So,
hey, I'll be honest with you. I did not watch every Cardinal game, and I'm struggling with some of these names that played center field. Did they have a fan drawing one night? Hey, congratulations. You get to play one inning in center field.
It might have been better.
Start. 15.5, Libby and McGreevy. Libator had 29. Hey, I think nowadays you get 29 starts. Would you be considered a quality starter right there?
Oh, heck yeah.
Seriously. My God. McGreevy 16. You guys all hit the over on Libator, so that was good. And McGreevy, Doug, you had the under. I don't think you were real confident in him getting her done.
He was not confident in the front office.
Exactly.
And here's where Doug was really overconfident. Contreras home runs, 23.5. I remember Doug, I really thought the number was 70, he said, but Doug had a 33. Ron, I think yours way over.
Way over is what I said.
Document that. There was 20. Tom, you had the under.
Yep.
Thoughts on the 20 home runs?
Tom, you kept us grounded. You had your feet on the ground and you were reaching for the stars. Nicely done.
Yeah.
Stolen bases, Victor Scott, 26.5. The actual number, 34. Tom, once again, you had the under. Everybody else was over. Ron? Or no, wait. Yeah, Ron, that's you?
Mhm.
Did it. 34. There you go.
That's why I enjoy gambling so much.
Yeah, there you go. Hey, you celebrate those wins and then talk. All you want to do is talk about the wins, and there you go.
Right?
Attendance, 2.4 million. I think everybody said easy on the over. Those $17,000 seat people don't help the attendance. 2.25, and don't forget the extra 7 there at the end. 2.25.
We set a low bar and we didn't make it.
No. And to quote Bill DeWitt III, message sent, message received.
Yeah.
Is it going to be $1 hot dog night and $5 bleacher night and, upper deck, buy one, get 6 free? You know what I mean?
So one clip that I heard from the press conference yesterday was that DeWitt III said, we'll do more towards the business side, lower concessions, lower ticket prices. And they don't understand. They're still not getting it. That's not what the problem is. It's on the field product. And until they understand that, I don't know. I don't know if they're going to get any way back.
Yeah.
Well, I always sit there and I get it. You're not going to have, when the athletics come to town, you're not going to get a lot of people come and watch them play, especially if it's during the weekday. But you also, when the Mets come or the Yankees come or Cubs and all the people that people want to see play, you still got to get people there, and they weren't getting them this year.
No.
So, all right, our last one, measurables. Ron, we're going to go to yours. Your comment was win down on all major offensive categories. And you were correct.
And I was shocked when I looked, and Joe, I think you probably have the list there, but he was down on at-bats, hits, average, home runs. And then if you want to get into the fun ones, weighted runs created plus, as well as OPS plus. The thing that blew me away, and I think I dropped this in the chat, he didn't hit a triple all year.
Which is amazing.
He had a bad knee.
With his speed. He had a bad knee. Yep.
He had a bad knee.
Yep.
Tom, Sonny Gray, the first pitcher on the DL. He was not.
I remember coming out of spring training and they were talking about how his velocity was down and his arm wasn't feeling good, and it just seemed like that was going to be the tone setter for the year. So I jumped on it, and luckily I was wrong.
That had DL reason, general fatigue written all over it. And I believe that was our conversation the entire time.
And he was giving up like 4 home runs a game, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which
was not
April
pretty.
general fatigue in April is scary.
Uh-huh.
And then Doug's, our final measurable here, Donovan will hit .310 and finish in the top 4 in NL batting. And he was there for a while, wasn't he, Doug?
Till he got a bad toe.
A bad toe. Oh, turf
Bad
toe.
toe
Get a goddamn.
Bad toe.
Bad toe that led to bad groin.
Yep.
Wow. 287 got you batting 287 got you 10th in the
10th.
National League in hitting. That's unbelievable.
No, Doug, if he wouldn't have been hurt, I think you'd have been right. I think he easily could have hit 310-ish, 308.
Yeah, he looked good for a while.
So, well, thank you, Blue Horseshoe, for that. And with that, we go to the last call, which is brought to you by Black Dog Consulting. They're here to help the one truck owner and the small fleet owner grow and prosper. Dave has 37 years, 4 million plus miles experience with flatbed, steep deck, overdimensional dry vans, and refrigerated units. Dave also has experience with dispatch, brokerage, back office, and as a shop manager mechanic, he grew the last fleet he managed from 1 truck to 5 with a yearly gross revenue of $3.7 million. If this is the growth you are looking for, contact Dave at 417-217-9622 or oldblackdog0523@gmail.com. Black Dog Consulting, helping you retrieve bigger profits. Joe Sperlin, what do you have for a last call?
I saw the NCAA announce the 28 women's Final Four is going to be in Lucas Oil Stadium. Going to increase the attendance 13,000 to have 31,000. So I would say that's a good move by them, and they'll probably sell every ticket. So 28.
I picked a good state to do it, too.
Yes.
Yeah, you think so? Yeah.
Yep.
Thank you, Caitlin Clark.
Mr. Mathis. Yes.
I'm going to touch on the Blues for a second. I got to go to their preseason game on Saturday, and I was very impressed with some of their younger players. Logan Mailloux, the defenseman they got from Montreal for Bolduc. I was very impressed with him. Got into a fight, held his own. They had a young line, and I know they're playing against the Blackhawks and they're young players, but they had a young line of Dvorsky, Carbonneau, and Perkacek, and they all look great. So I feel pretty good about the future for the Blues, unlike the Cardinals some ways, but I do feel like the Blues are going to have some quality players coming up.
And I tell you one other thing, with Kirill Kaprizov getting that $18 million a year contract, that those contracts for Thomas and Kyrou look much better now.
Yeah, yes, they do. Yes, they do.
So, Doug Lansdowne, what do you have for a last call?
Just when you think money doesn't talk, did you hear Dabo yesterday?
No.
You know, he was going to bar fight 2 weeks ago. You know, and if they don't like me, you don't like winning. Well, yesterday, Dabo said it's a monumental coaching error. So I think, like Joe had mentioned a couple weeks ago, they sat down with him and NIL and boosters and money talked, and Dabo realized, I better retrace my steps here and take it back. Yeah, a colossal and monumental coaching error is what he said yesterday. So he backtracked a little.
We've all seen the movies where someone has to give like that apology statement and they're kind of like looking over to the left and someone's like nodding and they're like, yes, that's what I meant.
Yeah.
Oh my. And for my last call, the MLB is, the demise of Major League Baseball has been, exaggerated. MLB's attendance, 71 million fans, up for the third straight year. TV viewership up across the board, and the average game time checks in at 2 hours and 38 minutes. The third straight year under 2 hours and 40 minutes. The average age, this is great news for baseball. The average age of a single game ticket buyer is 43, which is down from 46 2 years ago, and then this is where it gets better. The secondary market, where we do a lot of our ticket buying these days, the average age falls below 40. So, good news for baseball all the way around. And of course, Tom, what could they possibly do to screw up all of that momentum?
They're going to have a lockout.
Strike.
Nothing like a little player strike just when you got things going. You know, and someone said that they were doing so well in the 90s that even Michael Jordan quit playing basketball to play baseball, which they followed with a strike.
Yeah. They love
can't handle
that,
prosperity.
yeah. They don't like momentum.
No. Must be avoided. And with that, we want to thank you for joining us on this episode of the St. Louis Sportists podcast. We'd like to remind you that you can find us on all of the social media platforms, our website, stlsportists with an S.com. Joe Sperlin, thank you, sir.
Yep. Tell 2 people. That's all you got to do.
Tell 2 people. Doug Lansdowne.
You just hope those 2 people have 2 friends.
Yes.
You truly do. And Tom Mathis.
I've told my 2 friends it's everybody else's job now.
And with that, we thank you again for joining us on this episode. We'll talk to you next week. And until then, take care.
And that wraps another episode of the St. Louis Sportists podcast. Please like and subscribe to stay up to date on all the latest episodes. You can find these guys on all major podcast platforms. And thanks for listening.